Today you are watching white bass spawn at Lake Granger at the Steps 2023. Friday, it was 39 degrees today and the wind was blowing up to 30 miles an hour. I got to the water almost 11 o'clock. I had to stop at the store to buy some minnows. The water looks beautiful. It's my buddy G.
First white bass of 2023, I think.
Catching his first white bass of the year.
Are you seeing this thing?
And it's a beauty. 15 inches.
My buddy G's white bass. Isn't that beautiful?
I was excited. I'm thinking, man, he just caught this right here. We're going to catch some more.
What you going to do there?
And instead, I'm catching Guadalupe bass.
Guadalupe. Aguad.
Something kept stealing my bait. And this turns out to be the culprit.
And that's Moby Dick right there. It's beautiful.
Time to move upstream. No white bass here. So I'm hooking my minnows from the lips from the bottom to the top of the fish. And this is the gear I'm using today. Found a little spot. I was watching where the current was going. I saw it made a little eddy behind the trees. So you see the arrow pointing the way the bobber will float. Bam. These fish were pretty good size. I was surprised. I was expecting a lot smaller, but these guys were kind of fat.
G, second one of the year.
Well, there's one fish, there's usually more, so I threw it right in the same spot, or close as I could. It didn't take long for the bobber to go under again.
I'll come back.
It was a fun day fishing.
It's a good one.
The minnows were the trick.
12 inches. Not today.
My buddy was down further fishing with a fly. He wasn't having a whole lot of luck. He caught that one big one, but
Come on.
you don't want to catch another one on the fly.
Little white. It's a little bitty one.
I had purchased extra minnows for him.
Teeny tiny.
He refused to use them. He said catching fish with minnows was too easy.
4. Little one. Probably about 8 inches or so. Goodbye.
So I thought, okay, keep on keeping on, brother. Kind of felt bad for him. I was catching one after another, and he just kept watching me.
Yeah, I tried to turn my camera
Eventually,
on.
he came over where I was at.
He wanted it. He came back for it.
This fish one's kind of small, about 9 inches. They're still fun to catch, though.
They're little, but hey.
The wind was blowing pretty good. Luckily, in this area, it wasn't swirling. I was able to cast fairly accurately. As long as you got it close to that little area by the limbs in the water, you catch a fish. There's, you see my buddy throwing his fly rod out there. He just didn't have the luck. I caught a fish, and at some point there was a man standing on the bank watching me. He asked why we were letting the fish go. Well, my answer was I didn't bring a stringer to begin with. I just wasn't expecting to catch any fish, to be honest with you. Finally, I asked him if he wanted the fish, and he said yes. So I walked over to the bank where he was at, and he threw his fish basket towards me. The lid was stuck. I couldn't get the fish in the basket, so I tossed the fish up onto the bank for him.
See, I saw him. He came up after that thing.
We kept doing this for a little while. Catch a fish, walk it over to the bank,
It's a good one there.
toss it up on the bank for him.
Holy shit, they're getting bigger.
He'd put it in the basket. I'd walk back, catch another fish. Eat, sleep, repeat, right?
Muy grande. See,
I'm not gonna lie, this was fun. My wife usually fishes with minnows, and so I always bring minnows with us.
oh, he came
I
out.
normally start out with a fly rod or lures, but when she out fishes me with the minnows, I mean, when you're in Rome, do as the Romans do, right? So that's why I use the minnows. I figured I would find out where the fish were at with the minnows more than I would with the lures. I'm not confident with my fly rod yet. We finally decided to move upstream a little ways, and after a few casts I found this one. It was a nice size. I was wondering, man, I should start keeping these things, but then my buddy finally catches his second one on a fly. I'm sorry, the third one.
It's all right. It's a fish. Now you know kind of where they're at a little bit.
So we both started pitching our baits towards that limb in the water. And wouldn't you know it, we found some more fish.
I'm gonna have to. No.
I caught 5 or 6 more here. And then I finally convinced my buddy to take my rod and start using the remaining dozen minnows or so.
Man, these ain't no little guys, dude.
He finally agreed to do it.
It's a good one.
It took some convincing for him, but I kept
Yeah,
catching
she'd be
fish in
mad.
front of him in the same spot he was throwing his fly. I took over his fly rod and I pitched his fly rod out there near the same spot where we had been catching with the minnows, and bam.
Yeah. Not bad. It's a keeper.
I only caught 2 on the fly rod. They were big and fat though. About 13 inches.
That's a little bit smaller.
It was fun for sure.
Not a whole lot smaller.
Put him back. He was using a gray and white clouser fly. I appreciate you watching. Thanks for watching. And tight lines, y'all.